Next, write down question. The ionization enthalpy of sodium is ionization enthalpy IE of sodium is 5.1 electron volt. 5.1 electron volt. Calculate the energy required. Calculate the energy required to ionize. Required to right, ionization enthalpy of sodium metal is 5.1 electron volt. Calculate the energy required to ionize 1 gram sodium in gaseous state. Right. See, it's very simple. You need to understand the ionization energy of sodium is 5.1 electron volt, and they asked that how much energy required to ionize the 1 gram of sodium metal in gaseous state. So therefore, tell me, it is nothing but IE1. No? IE1 is equals to how much? 5.1 electron volt. So electron volt always per atom. Okay. Then we need to calculate energy required in kilocalories per mole. You better write energy required. It should be in kilocalories per mole. We need to calculate the energy in kilocalories per mole. Therefore, tell me, you just convert 5.1 electron volt into kilocalories per mole. So we know that 1 electron volt is equals to 23, approximately 23 kilocalories per, right, kilocalories per mole. So therefore 5.1 electron volt nothing but 5.1 into 23 kilocalories per mole, right? So tell me approximately 5.1 into 23, 0.3 kilocalories per mole. So this much energy. Now it is in kilocalories per mole, right? But question is not this. What is the question? Calculate the energy required to ionize 1 gram sodium. Do you know? It is 117.3, right, kilocalories per mole. It means it is nothing but kilocalories per mole, nothing but 1 mole. So 1 mole is equals to, listen carefully. We want given here gram, no? 1 gram. Do you know? 1 gram we need to calculate, but it is what in it is in mole, no? 1 mole is equals to how many grams? 23 gram. That means 117.3 kilocalories, which is nothing but in 23 gram. Because kilocalories per mole, no? Per mole is equals to 23, because sodium is 23 atomic mass, right? Gram atomic mass is 23. Therefore, so this much energy required for what? 23 grams of sodium. But the question is what? 1 gram sodium is equals to dash amount of energy. It is, so 1 into 117.3 divided by 23. You get same? How do you get same?
Sir, 5.1 into 23 is nothing but 117.3. Then 5.1.
Now one, yeah.
Sir, Avogadro number we have to, for atom they given, sir.
No, 5.1 electron volt We have, yeah, you will get same, let it be same, because its atomic mass 23, no? Atomic mass is, okay, 5.1. Yeah, this is kilo calorie per mole. Let it be. Okay, one more question. Do you understand? Write one more question. You can get easy.
Sir, for one atom, 5.1 electron-volt.
You calculate the atoms, huh? That will do it. Will do it. Write one more question. The ionization enthalpy of magnesium. Ionization enthalpy of magnesium is IE of magnesium is 6.5 electron volt per atom. Calculate the energy required. Calculate the energy required to ionize. Calculate the energy required to ionize 12 gram magnesium in gaseous state. 12 gram magnesium in gaseous state. In bracket, it should be in kilocalories per mole. Right. So it is also similar question. Right. In question, what they have given? Ionization enthalpy of magnesium is given. No. Come on, tell me. IE of magnesium is equals to 6.5 electron volt. Right. Electron volt. It means 6.5 electron volt per how many? Per one atom, no? Per one atom. This much energy required for one atom. Okay. But question is what? For 12 gram. Right? 12 gram. So 12 gram require how much? For that, what I do is this 6.5 electron volt per atom convert into kilocalories per mole first. How do you convert? 6.5 into 23, right? Is equals to, tell me. 149.75 kilocalories per mole. Okay, right. Now next, here you need to understand 149.5 kilocalories per mole, right? What is the meaning of this? 149.5, this much energy, kilocalories per 1 mole.
24 for 24 gram.
Students, listen carefully. Now this much energy per mole, no? Kilocalories per mole means this much energy per mole. It means, can I write like this? 149.5 kilocalories. It is for what? 1 mole. 1 mole is equals to how many grams magnesium? Because question is asked for gram, no? Okay. I want to convert 1 mole into gram. 1 mole is equals to 24 gram because the atomic mass of the magnesium is 24. Right. So therefore, now this much kilocalories per 1 mole. 1 mole is equals to 24 gram. Then now we have taken, it is a mass relation, energy relation. Then 12 gram magnesium is equals to how many grams?
4.75.
Yeah. So it is 12 into this by this.
74.75.
Let it, right. Kilocalories per mole. Right. In textbook, you just see page number. Next, right. Electron gain enthalpy. Electron gain enthalpy or electron affinity denoted by EA. Okay. Right. So this is a quite opposite to ionization enthalpy. So we have studied in ionization enthalpy. It is a nucleus, right? Atom. There is this atom has like electron in outermost. All right. It is a stable atom. Then tell me, since it is a stable atom, what happened? This electron continuously revolve around the nucleus in a particular orbit, right? It has nucleus force of attraction, which this nucleus attracts the electron towards its side, right? Now, to remove electron, when there is a stable electron, if you want to remove this electron, what do we have to do? We need to use energy, right? The minimum amount of energy which is needed to required to remove the electron from outermost, that is ionization enthalpy. That's over. Now it's reverse, now opposite process. It is a stable atom, right? All right, it has nucleus and electron, everything is same. Then I have one extra electron. Now this extra electron I wanted to add this outermost. Tell me, when we add one extra electron to outermost orbit, what happens? Obviously energy will be released. It's opposite, no. Therefore the amount of energy which is released when an electron is added to neutral, isolated and gaseous atom is called electron affinity, or first electron gain enthalpy. So therefore the definition, the amount of energy released when an electron added to neutral, isolated gaseous atom called first electron gain enthalpy. First electron gain enthalpy, it is also called first electron affinity, EA1. Come on, tell me, how do you represent this? Take the atom A, it is a gaseous state and isolated, right? Add one electron to A. Come on, tell me, A become A minus, it is again gaseous state. Now this process is called EA1, right? In EA1, so here amount of energy obviously released, right? So therefore, come on, tell me, EA1 is always exothermic or endothermic? Exothermic, because energy released. So therefore remember, important, so it is a exothermic process because energy will be released. Next, similarly, what is electron affinity 2 or second electron affinity? So second electron, it is also same, no? But thing is, the amount of energy here is what? Released. But in second electron gain enthalpy, amount of energy not released, it is absorbed. So the amount of energy is absorbed when electron is added to uni-negative isolated ion. So it's called what? Second electron gain enthalpy. It means here question is, so why energy is absorbed? See, when you add one electron to this neutral atom, it become what? It become A minus. When one electron is added to A become A minus. What is the A minus indicate? A minus indicate it has one electron is excess. Obviously, one electron is excess as required. So one electron is excess as required. Then now I will take A minus, which has already one electron is excess. To this A minus, I wanted to add one more electron extra. So when you try to add, one more extra electron, so already one electron is excess. Due to this excess electron, so when you try to add another electron, there is a repulsion exert. The repulsion exert in between what? Adding electron and present existing electron. So due to this repulsion, this electron cannot be added so easily. Even though if you want to add it electron to this atom, then what to do? We need to use energy. So therefore it become endothermic. Right? So therefore remember, only first electron gain enthalpy is a exothermic, then remaining all electron affinities are endothermic process. Right? So therefore A minus plus electron gives rise to A minus 2. Right? It is a EA2. Come on, tell me, this EA2 is a endothermic. Delta H is positive. It is endothermic. Therefore, how do you define second electron gain enthalpy?
The amount of energy required when the electron added.
Yes, the amount of energy required, right? The amount of energy required to add the electron to what? Uni-negative.
Isolated gaseous ion.
Yes, uni-negative and isolated. Uni-negative, comma, isolated gaseous ion. Of course, both are outermost orbit only, called second electron gain enthalpy. Right? So it is always endothermic process. Now similarly, what is EA3? For EA3, take A minus 2 plus add another electron, it become A minus 3. It is a EA3. Come on, tell me, what about EA3? Is it endothermic or exothermic? It is also endothermic. Then how do you define EA3? The amount of energy required to add, it should be di-negative. It is uni-negative. Next comes di-negative isolated gaseous ion is called second electron gain enthalpy. So it is also endothermic. Endothermic process. Next, tell me, what are the units of electron gain enthalpy? It is energy units, no? Same. It is electron volt per atom. Next, kilocalories per mole. Same. Kilojoules per mole. Same as ionization enthalpy. Next, conversion also important. 1 electron volt also equal to 1.602 into 10 power minus 19 joules per atom. Electron volt always per atom only. Electron volt per atom equal to these many joules per atom. Next, even 1 electron volt is equals to approximately 23 kilocalories per mole, or 1 electron volt is equals to 96.45. You can take 5 approximately kilojoules per mole. Okay. Next, one important conversion here. Now let us take A plus electron gives us to A minus. What is this? Yeah, first electron enthalpy. First electron gain enthalpy, right? Next, if I take now reverse, come on, tell me, A minus gives rise to
First ionization
A. This is what?
First ionization
IE1. Now, can I write like this? First electron gain enthalpy of A equal to first ionized enthalpy of A minus. But what is the change? Suppose if EA1 is equals to minus X electron volt, because EA1 always negative, no? If EA1 is equals to minus X electron volt, then what is IE1? Plus X electron volt. Only difference is sign. because EA1 always exothermic, IE1 always endothermic, right? So therefore important, EA1 of A equal to IE1 of A minus. Okay. Right, one question. I'll take one example only. One example. The ionization enthalpy of element M is, the ionization enthalpy of an element M is 5.1 electron volt. The ionization enthalpy of an element M is 5.1 electron volt, and its electron affinity value is, come and tell me. So in question given that, yeah, ionization enthalpy IE1 is equals to given 5.1 electron volt. The question is, what is its first electron gain enthalpy? It should be minus 5.1 electron volt. Need not to calculate, because you see here, if EA1 is minus, it should be plus, right? Next, one more question. The formation of Cl minus is exothermic. Just write question. The formation of Cl minus ion is exothermic, but formation of O minus 2 is a endothermic. Why? Or give the reason.
Because the electron dissolution, it requires energy to add the electron.
Right. So here, the formation of Cl minus, Cl gives rise to Cl minus is a, it is exothermic. You just tell me why it is exothermic? EA1. This is nothing but EA1. So this EA1 is a exothermic. But the formation of O to O minus 2, this is endothermic. Give the suitable reason. See, the reason is O to O minus 2 takes place in two steps, right? What are two steps? Step 1. In step 1, O plus electron gives rise to O minus. So this is a, yes, it is a, sorry, EA1. This EA1 is equals to exothermic. Let us take it is a minus delta H. Okay. Next, this O plus O minus plus one more electron, it gives rise to O minus 2. This is a EA2. But EA2 is what? Endothermic. Okay. Now EA1 is a exothermic, EA2 is a endothermic. Then among EA1, EA2, EA2 is more important. EA2 is more than what? EA1. Therefore, now tell me, what is the resultant energy? Delta H is equals to, we add
Delta H.
EA1 plus EA2. Right? Then, so this EA1 is less or EA2 is more compared to EA1. So since EA2 is more than EA1, then the resultant energy is positive, that is endothermic. So therefore important, EA2 is more, it is less. One important question. Okay. Next, one more question is most commonly asking question. Which of the following process, exothermic, or which of the following process endothermic? Or which of the following process require more energy, less energy? These two questions also important, right? One question, which of the following process is a exothermic? Which of the following process is an exothermic? So what is the meaning of exothermic? Energy will be released. Okay. Option 1. O minus plus electron gives us to O minus 2. 2. N minus 2 plus electron gives us to N minus 3. 3. F plus electron gives us to F minus 4. N minus plus electron gives us to N minus 2. Tell me, which is exothermic? You need to say only first electron gain enthalpy. The first electron gain enthalpy is what? You should see neutral atom. One electron is added to neutral atom. So therefore, the addition of electron to neutral atom is always exothermic process. That should be only adding one electron. Then see here, in remaining cases, adding one electron, but what? Not neutral atom, adding to uninegative or di-negative. Okay, therefore, this is only exothermic. This is one question. Next, another question is, where energy required is more? Which of the following process required more energy? Write down. Which of the following? Yeah. Which of the following process? Which of the following process required more energy? Okay. 1. N plus electron, N minus 2. N minus plus electron, N minus 2. 3. N minus 2 plus electron, N minus 3. Next, 4. O minus 2. O minus plus electron, O minus 2. Tell me, where the energy required is more? So obviously, the addition of one electron, see, the addition of one electron to neutral atom is easy. Why?
It is exothermic.
Because it is exothermic, and moreover, this neutral atom, it attracts electron. Okay, this neutral atom always attracts the electron. So because of attraction, the addition becomes easy, and moreover, energy will be released. Exothermic. Right. Whereas, if you take A minus plus electron, A minus 2 plus electron, A minus 3 plus A minus 2 plus electron, 3 plus electron. Come on, tell me. When we add one more extra electron to A minus, it is difficult because the already existing electron is one extra. That existing extra electron, it is of course unstable. Then what happens? So when you add another electron, there is a repulsion exert. The existing electron, add electron. In case of A minus 2, there are 2 electrons are extra already. Then you cannot add one other electron. There are 3 electrons are extra. You cannot add, so 4th electron to A minus 3. It is highly difficult. Therefore, A minus 3, which is required more energy. Therefore, we need to say more negative charge, where it is minus 2. So the addition of one electron to N minus 2 is difficult because already there are 2 electrons extra present in the nitrogen. Okay. Next, this is one question. Next, another question is, electron affinity of chlorine is, electron affinity of chlorine is 3.7 electron volt. 3.7 electron volt. How much energy in kilocalories required? How much energy in kilocalories is required? Sorry, no, not required, released. how much energy in kilocalories released when 2 grams of chlorine completely converted into Cl minus ion in gaseous state. Cl minus ion in gaseous state. Okay, so this question is similar to ionization enthalpy question, right? Come on, tell me, in question given that electron affinity of chlorine is equals to 3.7 electron volt. So electron volt is always per atom, but what is the question? How much energy released when 2 grams of chlorine, chlorine to Cl minus, it should be in gaseous state. Come on, tell me. So that too in kilocalories, we want in kilocalories. So therefore you just convert 3.7 electron volt per atom convert into kilocalories. It is 3.7 into 23, no? Tell me. 85.1. It is 85.1 kilocalories per mole. Do you know what is the meaning of this 85.1 kilocalories per mole? It means 85.1 kilocalories per mole. Per mole is equals to how many grams of chlorine? No, atom. So which is equals to 35.5 grams of chlorine, right? Therefore, so now this much energy required for what? 35.5 gram, but question is 2 grams of chlorine is required dash amount of energy, right? You can do, no? 170.2. Yes. So it is approximately 4.9 kilocalories per mole. Okay. Next, right? Factors affecting on electron affinity. Understood now what is electron affinity? Okay. Next, factors affecting on electron affinity. So what are the factors affecting? 1, same atomic size or atomic radius as like ionization enthalpy. 2, it is effective nuclear charge Z, effective Z star. Next, third one, screening effect or shielding effect. It is also same, shielding effect or screening effect. Next, 4, half filled and half filled and completely filled. Orbitals, right? So these are the 4 factors affecting on electron affinity. Now first one is atomic size. Can you tell me, now take, there are 2 atoms, smaller atom and larger atom. Okay, it is A and it is B. Now here both are of course stable. Now we want to add 1 electron to smaller atom, and same way we wanted to add 1 electron to larger atom also. Tell me, in which case the addition of electron become easy? A na? B na? Okay, I will give you a hint. The addition of electron is not depends on its size. If the atom is a very bigger size, it can accommodate more electron. Is like that? No. Atom ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದ್ರೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ electron ಇರಬಹುದಾ? ಹಾಗಲ್ಲ. It is depends on nucleus force of attraction. Okay. Therefore, if an atom has more nuclear force of attraction on valence shell, that atom can attract electron so easily. Right. When that atom attract electron so easily, energy will be released more. Then ionization enthalpy will be more. So therefore, in which case the attraction of electron become easy? A. Because A atom has smaller in size. Due to its small size, this nucleus force of attraction on valence shell is more. Therefore, whenever one electron is tried to added, this atom, nucleus itself attract electron so that more energy will be released. That means smaller atom has more electron gain enthalpy. What about in larger atom? In case of larger atom, it can also, electron can be added. But the problem is here, the nucleus force of attraction. The nucleus force of attraction is less on outermost orbit. Why? Because of size. Because of large size, no. Large size and there are many electrons here. That is screening effect will be there. Many electrons will be there. Yes. Okay, there are many factors. Therefore, due to larger in size, nucleus force of attraction on valence shell is less. Therefore, this nucleus cannot attract, outermost added electron so easily. That means energy will be released less. So therefore, smaller atom has more electron affinity, and larger atom has less electron affinity. It means electron affinity is inversely proportional to atomic size. Remember, this is one point is enough to understand. Electron affinity inversely proportional to atomic size. No, it's that same. Okay, we'll start that also, not that much. Fine. Next is second one, effective nuclear charge. Now it is nothing but nuclear charge, no? The same thing we have studied here. If the nuclear charge increases, when the nuclear charge increases? A plus 2, A plus 3. Right? As the positive charge on the ion increases, obviously effective nuclear charge is increases. When the effective nuclear charge increases, that is nuclear power. This nucleus attracts the electron towards its side strongly. Right? Atomic size decreases. Then added electron become easily entered in the atom. That means energy will be released more. So therefore, come on, tell me what is the relation between electron affinity and effective nuclear charge? It is directly proportional. Z effective.
To add the neutral atom to add electron, it is after it become endothermic.
Yes.
From positive to neutral, all are exothermic.
Positive to neutral? Yes. All exothermic. Okay, next, third one. Shielding effect or screening effect. But we have studied the screening effect, no? When the screening, what is the meaning of screening effect? This inner electron shield or screen the outermost. When inner electron protect the outermost, this outermost electron move away from the nucleus. It means size is increases. Therefore, remember, shielding effect is directly proportional to atomic size. Right? Therefore, screening effect directly proportional to atomic size. But atomic size inversely proportional to electron affinity. Therefore, electron affinity is inversely proportional to screening effect or shielding effect. Okay, next, fourth one. Fourth one is, half filled and completely filled orbital. We have studied that half filled and completely filled orbitals are most stable, no? The atoms or element having half filled orbital or completely filled orbital, they are most stable, exceptionally most stable. Okay, since atoms element having most stability, can you add electron? No, they not required, no. The extra electron is not required. That means addition of electron is not a it's not easy. Therefore, the element having stable electronic configuration, they are of course stable, and the addition of electron is not easy. It means they are having what? They are having positive electron gain enthalpy. Usually electron affinity EA1 is a what? Negative. No? Negative for all element. Why it is negative for all element in generally? Because they can take electron easily. No, A takes electron becomes A minus easily because of its nuclear force of attraction. But it is exothermic. If an atom is stable, come on, tell me. If an element is stable, can we add electron easily? No. It means that atom is not required electron. If it is not required electron, even though we are adding forcefully, it means it should be endothermic. It means electron affinity, the first electron affinity is endothermic. For which element? They are having stable electronic configuration like nitrogen, beryllium, magnesium, nitrogen, noble gases, etc. Okay, this point important, make note, write down point. The elements which are having stable electronic configuration are half filled and completely filled orbital. The elements which are having half filled and completely filled orbital are stable, hence they do not take electron easily. Therefore their electron affinity 1, their EA1 is endothermic. For example, like beryllium, we have studied beryllium has stable electronic, even magnesium has stable electronic configuration, nitrogen also has stable electronic configuration. So therefore beryllium, magnesium, nitrogen and even noble gases have stable electronic configuration, therefore they have positive electron gain enthalpy. Important. Next, variation of electron gain enthalpy in groups and period. Okay, variation of electron gain enthalpy in groups and period. So what happened electron gain enthalpy in groups and period? Okay, let's see first in groups. Come on, tell me. In groups. So we know that down the group atomic size is increases. So down the group atomic size increases, therefore electron gain enthalpy should be atomic size increases, therefore electron gain enthalpy decreases, because atomic size inversely proportional to electron gain enthalpy, right? So therefore tell me what is the statement? Electron gain enthalpy is decreases down the group, right? Electron gain enthalpy, see if I do not tell any 1 2, it means EA1 only. We study about EA1. Now if I do not mention anything like EA1 EA2, you need to understand it is EA1. Okay, so electron gain enthalpy is decreases down the group. Electron gain enthalpy is decreases down the group due to
increase in atomic size.
Due to increase in atomic size. Atomic size is increases, no? So therefore but there is one exception. Okay, now for example, if you take a 17th group element, 17th group, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, astatine, right? Okay, leave it astatine, take iodine only. So fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. So what is the electron gain enthalpy of 17th group element? So it's supposed to be fluorine greater than chlorine, then bromine, then iodine, but not. So there is an exception here. The electron gain enthalpy of chlorine is greater than fluorine, then remaining things are same, bromine and iodine. Why? So here electron affinity of this chlorine is more than fluorine, or fluorine is less than what? Chlorine. Why? The electron gain enthalpy of fluorine is less due to small size and more electron repulsion. Now what happened now? If you see fluorine, it has two shells, right? Two shells.